What up, G?
What up, mate?
What's going on, bro?
It's all good, bro.
Yeah.
Man, what a week.
What a week.
What a week. Beautiful, though.
I say let's cancel spring. Officially.
Wish,
This heat wave showed me flames.
bro. Let's not even talk about it.
It's ridiculous. It's been a hard ass week. Where we at?
Episode 40.
Where are we?
Amsterdam.
We're in Amsterdam.
not the country, but soon will be. But we're in Amsterdam, in Randburg.
Yeah.
Why are we here?
For our next guest.
Our next guest, Kelebogile, she is a PR.
Yep.
She's a PR, but I can't say much because at the end of the day, she needs to tell you her story, her journey of entrepreneurship, and that's what we are.
If you don't know what PR is, if you don't know,
Today you're going to learn.
today you're gonna learn. I got a lot of questions, dude. I'm excited about this. Without further ado, let's get the lady of the moment into the hot seat, Kelebogile Shomang.
Hi, Dylan.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
My pleasure.
Before we get into the deep, meaty stuff, who is Kelebogile? Tell us, who's Kelebogile? Where you from?
Yeah.
Tell us story. We need to know you as you. Who's Kelebogile and where do you come from? And
Just a short background. You can give us like 5 sentences.
yeah.
I'm gonna count them.
That's cool too.
Okay, who's Kelebogile? Kelebogile grew up in Soweto,
Yeah.
Orlando West.
Okay.
And then I lived in Pretoria for a huge time of my life. I think primary school right through to about grade 10.
Yeah.
I lived in Lesotho in between that time as well. I lived in the Southwest. I went to 9 different schools in my lifetime.
Jeez.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of moving then. Jeez.
A lot of moving. My mom was a diplomat, so
Okay.
a lot of
that
changing of
explains the
schools
movements.
and the longest I've been in one school was 3 years. You would think because it's a degree, you would have stayed. Even in my degree, I didn't stay for 3 years. My high school I finished, which was in Randburg. I went to what is called Becker, which is Becker High School now.
Okay.
I took a gap year. I tried to go study at 888, didn't work out for me.
Okay.
I left. I took a gap year where I was volunteering in different African countries. I was a student mentor. I was doing promotions at home. I was living in Zim for a while. I worked different jobs in the marketing communication space.
Okay.
I did modeling. My goodness.
Jeez. You can have like before you were 25.
And at this stage, I still don't know what I wanted to do. So I was trying a lot of different things that resonated with me and the things that I like volunteering and still promotions and modeling, and I was just still dabbling there. And eventually I decided, my mom actually, she was like, you know what, I recognize the trend in you. You're very organized, you like events, you like, this communication thing. Why don't you try studying public relations?
Okay.
Then at 23, I think, I went back
So
to
wait,
school.
everything you said now was prior to 23.
Yes.
Jeez. So you
I started a business at 21. I started a business in promotions. It's called Diamond Standards.
Okay.
So I started this entrepreneurship
And
quite early.
it's still going on.
It's still very active.
Really?
It's become something else now, but it's active. And then I decided to study because my business was actually doing so well within the first year. I was invoicing good 200 grand, for
At 21?
a job at 21, And then I decided, what if I actually knew what I was doing? So let me go study and figure it out. I should not have done that. I would have been a millionaire where I'm sitting today, but it's okay because this is before all the events agencies and the boom, So I definitely would have cashed in nice and early, but I decided to go and study. I studied public relations in Cape Town.
Okay. UCT or not?
Cape Tech.
Oh, Cape Tech.
Then in my 3rd year, I got a job here in Joburg. So you have to do workplace experience.
Okay.
I came back home and I worked for a very nice agency where I got my stepping stone in the PR industry.
Okay.
And I've been working in PR ever since. It truly was my calling. I'm a communicator. I love to do it. It comes so naturally to me.
Yeah.
So having studied it and learned theories, I'm still about to do a master's in it now. So
So you're still studying?
I'm still studying.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Sure, there's so many questions.
but before we go there, like I think that PR is a word that's kind of just thrown around. It's actually not even a word, it's an abbreviation. What is PR? What do you do?
Public relations is, I would say, it's communications. It's a way, it's reputation management, it's crisis management, it's basically looking after the reputation of a business, of an entity, of an individual.
Wow.
And that encompasses everything. So that's why I never understand when people want to put in PR as just a tool in marketing, because it's actually a strategic role that should come right at the beginning of your business. Because if you're starting a business, you need to know what people are saying, or you need to know what you want people to perceive about your business.
And how?
You know. So we're creating that perception. That's why, you know, most of the bigger companies, your corporates, your government, your banks and them, they will put public relations as a corporate affairs department which sits next to the CEOs and the executives. Because that's where the decisions are made, and we need that information to be able to, you know, give off the right sort of messaging to the rest of the public or to stakeholders and things like that.
So technically, it should actually come before marketing, because before you have like a marketing plan or a direction within marketing, you need to know how you're going to relay that message to the people.
Message?
What is the message?
Yes, we create the content. We at a strategic role, we are the ones who decide, okay, this is a wooden table, and what does this wooden table do? It allows things to be put on it. How is it allowing things to be put on it?
Through
ABCD. Exactly. So there's a huge integration that happens with, you know, that's why IMC came into place, where it's our integrated marketing communications. Because it's a PR tool that now gets integrated into that. And that's why then, you know, it's not just paid anymore, now it becomes editorial, where we are giving you content based on what we want you to know about us.
The myth has been broken. So guys, PR is not
I hope I've done it justice.
you've done.
I think you did that really well, because a lot of people don't have an understanding of, you know, why do I need PR? What is PR? Why is it important in a business, you know? And when you're starting a business, with a new business, with new directions within business, clearly that's an integral part to building your business and setting your goals for where you want to go.
Before you got into PR, you were doing diamond standards. Tell us a little bit more about that journey and how that started, because you said you started at 21.
Yes. Yeah, it was nice and young. So how Diamond Standards came about, from matric, so from about 18 to 20, 21, I was, you know, everybody does promotions, you know, weekend jobs, you're handing out pamphlets in the street corner, whatever.
Student village and vids.
You know. So I came from that background as well, where immediately I was doing promotions, I was doing modeling jobs, hostessing jobs, and all those things. And there was a common sort of problem at the time, which was that the agencies or the companies were still also dividing themselves to form an agency that looks after promoters. That's why the bigger companies, I think it was, what was that, CCC? Creative Council. Yes, they were one of the bigger ones that were doing that, and they were also forming their own sort of agency in the events staffing space. But they hadn't gotten it right yet. And the issues that we found as, you know, promoters on the ground is that you would get booked and you'd only get paid after like a month or two. And you even forgot about the job. And some people don't even get jobs as frequently for them to, you know, you're already budgeting that 300 rand or whatever. You know? So it took long, number one, to get paid, and often you even forget the jobs. And then there were timesheets, and then there was just so much admin that made it almost, you know, you almost didn't want to go and do this job, because it's like, I'm going to go drive somewhere and work for 2 hours, and you're only going to pay me in, you know, it didn't make sense. So I was like, as somebody who was making money from promotions, I was really making a lot of money, guys. I was surprised as well. But you know, you could easily have made 25 to 30K in a month if you had jobs every weekend, and you know, if you had a car as well. Car was a big thing. So I decided to also, having had worked with a lot of different people, I had a network of promoters as well. I've been known with the brands and things, because they always invite you, even on a side note, you know, they invite you to say, no, we're having this event, we really like the way you work, can you come and hostess at such and such a gig? So you started to build networks, which is where I suppose the communications and PR was already forming. I didn't even know it. Where you're networking now with the clients as well. So I was like, I can actually do it on my own. If I can just get get 2 good clients that'll give me work and brands, not just an agency.
Yeah.
Because brands know exactly you directly with their marketing team.
Yeah,
sure.
So they know if I can just call Gayla for a weekend to do her in-store promotions, she'll get me X amount of girls, we'll screen them, we'll train them. And it was that easy for me. I was like,
Wow.
why is it so hard? So my mom was like, just register a business. Here's a shelf company that she had, change the directorship. I did that, and it was just me. Every weekend was, you know, me driving 4 or 5 girls to an audition. In a weekend, I'd have my promoters at like 3-4 different malls doing in-store or mall activations. And one man, you know.
So at 21, when everybody else is still suffering from hangovers, partying, you're already employing people. That is so dope. Do you still do it?
At a different scale. I think I lost touch obviously with the promoter getting into PR. So now I have a friend who does it full time. So I usually just refer people to her.
Oh, so you're more like a consultant.
Yes.
See, but that's also a nice shift because you didn't just stop based on what the market was doing. You decided, let me change what I'm doing and still add value to the actual market. Very entrepreneurial.
Yeah, like as soon as she started telling the story, I kind of picked up. We've got this thing that Gary Vee spoke about it a little bit, but the whole purebred entrepreneurs, people who, you know, as much as have worked in or for someone or doing other things, have always had that fallback of doing something for themselves and moving into that space.
It's a gift and a curse, I always say, because even when you're in a work environment, you always see opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and it's like you want to pursue things, but it's like just stay in your lane. Can't do it all.
Before it's like, hey, stop it.
But it's about, it does bite you, it does catch up with you, you know, and I'm very fortunate to have been able to pursue it early and now.
Continuing with the studies, like when you started the story, you're like, I shouldn't have done that, and now you're still deep within.
Deep.
Is that the reason why you say you shouldn't have done it? Because now you like perpetually study.
Yes, I feel like I would have made more money. I would have. Honestly, it was so lucrative. It was such a cash business. You know, and had I stayed, I always wonder how far would I have gone. But I also know that education is important. There's certain things that I wouldn't have learned and been able to identify today if I didn't go to school. You know, and it's basic principles and fundamentals that it teaches you that I can propel, you know, to anywhere now, in any industry. I can literally, from rail to product to consumer, you name it. You can really, you're able to give value.
Is there a specific sort of industry or type of company that you prefer to work with, or even size of company? Is where do you kind of, I think maybe the best way to ask is, where do you specialize in your PR?
I say I'm a strategist. I love very high level overview thinking. I like to take nothing and turn it into something. So right now, when I left last year my job and I decided to freelance, I was freelancing in small businesses and startups and entrepreneurs, because there's such a, number one, they don't know what my role is. I've got a blank canvas and I get to paint.
You paint your own picture.
Exactly. You know, and it's also nice to have a client come to you, or a small business come to you and say, we want to get here. You know, and to kind of take them through that journey and then get them there, but also exceed their expectations. You know, and give all 3 times, 4 times more value that they're actually paying you. For me, that makes me happy. That really does bring me joy to see a company start from, you know, infancy through a level where now SMBC is calling you to say, we need your commentary here because you're expert in this. That makes me happy. I've done my job. So I think I specialize in strategy and implementation. I don't necessarily like to go too deep into it because I believe there's people who have greater strengths in it than I do. Because I like to work with my strengths. And also with strategy, there's a lot of learning in that. You get different clients that you work with, so you can get from consumer, you can get from corporate, you can get to entertainment, whatever. So when somebody comes to you, you have to make their vision come to life in some way, you know, that's where the strategy role comes into play. Because as much as you're only thinking vision and you just want to get onto SABC, I'm thinking, but along the way there's other opportunities that will actually, by the time you get there, we won't be calling you them, they'll be calling you.
So from what I hear, you like to draw the roadmap, right?
Yes.
And so now exploring different avenues. So I get that now from a strategy point of view, that you know, we may come to you and say, listen, Kele, this is what we want to do, and our goal is to end up here. And your job as a strategist is to say, but on the way there, here's all these other avenues we can explore to actually get you there faster, or even make you realize that maybe that's not
greater value than what you're
absolutely,
because it's also a stakeholder relation side of PR, and that means I can connect you with some of my networks that will actually fast track you past where you thought you wanted to go.
What pushed you to get out of your job into the consultancy side? On your
that's the question.
What forced that leap? And what have you found to have been your challenges in doing that so far?
Value. I didn't feel that I was being valued where I was given, and I found myself not working to my best abilities because I felt either way they're not going to notice me, either way I'm not going to, you know, my voice is not going to be heard, either way, you know, I'm always going to be second guessed or, you know, overlooked or whatever the case is. And it was ongoing for quite a while. And you know, when you start to get to a point where you're also undermining yourself and you're doing the bare minimum, and that's not me.
You start falling into the pattern that they are giving you.
Yes. Where literally I know that if I get to work by X amount of time, I'm done with my work, you know, by midday, by 1 or 2, but I'm still going to have to sit because I'm on a seat and I need to, you know, take care of exactly, you know.
And then when you don't do your job, they move you aside and get somebody else to do the same thing.
Exactly, that was it. That was for me, is like, if I have to leave now, is it going to make a difference? No. Then let me actually just go because I don't feel that I'm adding the value that I'd like to add here. You know, amongst other very petty things along the way, but that was ultimately the decision that got me to say, okay, cool, I'm out, you know, let me go and try this thing out, you know. And I had really good projects that I wanted to work on, and I couldn't. There was also the school element that I felt my job wasn't supportive of. And for me, it's very important to me. It's very, very important to me. So I just felt, actually, if you're not for my growth and my progress in life, let me do that for myself. It's okay. So no hard feelings, cool, I left. And I started freelancing. So I don't have a formal public relations consultancy as everyone tells me to do. Just because I feel that the market is so saturated with those already. There are so many, they don't even last a year or 2 and it's out the market. You know, giddy, startup, whatever, because you see one client here and it's cool. So
or you get lucky enough to sign a client. And then once that client moves on, then you're dealing with
the end of your agency, you know. So that's my reasoning for not wanting to have started. And second to that is because I feel there's a lot of improvement that needs to happen in the industry at large, from regulation to governing to the perception around public relations. I feel so incorrect. I would rather go educate myself and come back and bring my industry to a level where it can be recognized. You know, just like your auditors and your accountants and things like that, I feel that PR also needs to be at the level where, you know, you are at a standard where not anyone can just come and say, I do PR. You know, there's that board exam or there's that qualification or that thing that makes
that regulation that keeps it on a professional level.
Yes, where it's respected, because I don't feel like it's respected right now.
That's very cool. I feel like you're changing the entire face of PR. That is so cool. We know
that's the aim.
That is very cool.
The long term.
So but you mentioned that you're a freelancer. In that, what is your biggest challenge as a freelancer?
My biggest challenge has been...
It's okay to say you don't have challenges.
I definitely do. I think the biggest challenge is keeping, especially because I decided to work to offer my services to small businesses and entrepreneurs. They struggle with funding. They don't have money. They don't have startup capital like, you know, the larger businesses that would, you know. So my struggle would be, I suppose, keeping myself with a client on a retainer. So I find myself having to go look out for business a lot more than if I had a consistent larger client.
Because obviously they can't service that retainer.
Yes, yes. They can often never keep me on a retainer basis, so we work project to project, which is often 3 months, a month, 2 months, or until we get to X place, and then we're like, okay, I'm here now, let me take over. And then I'm like, okay, cool, I don't mind. My purpose was to help you out anyway. And the challenge is keeping clients longer. Then you find yourself spending a lot more time doing proposals to so many different people because you need that business. You know, in 3-6 months' time, you need to replace this one with that one and so on, you know. And at the same time, you can't inundate yourself and be greedy and have a lot of clients all at one time.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to do it.
No, you can't
replicate yourself.
No, you can't. And you need to be honest and understand your capacity and be transparent.
And be able to give your all as well. Because when you start diluting that, your clients don't get the best of it.
And then they don't come back.
Then they don't come back, So it's a very blurred line that you can actually cross there if you don't sort of manage that.
Yeah.
Is there a future plan to open that agency, or are we just gonna stay Kelebogile Shomang, the consultant in PR, all-star consultant in PR?
I'm still thinking about it.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. I have 2 projects that I'm working on that are really passion projects, and that are humongous. Beyond, sometimes I even get scared because I'm like, I don't even know where to start to work on building this thing because I know it's going to be bigger than me. So I have 2 projects.
Nice problem to have.
Yeah, 2 projects that I'm really working hard on that are also going to improve a lot of the way education, international education is being done, or the application for international education has been done, and then there's another one where it's a lot more tech-based. But it's also, once again, as an entrepreneur, you're here to solve a problem.
Sure.
So this is me in my problem-solving ways. Of the one project will be solving a major problem in education, and the other one will be in the services industry.
Okay.
All quite tech-based, and it's a space that I'm incorporating a lot in because even in PR, there's still a huge growth that needs to happen where we're incorporating technology into our solutions. So those are my babies that I want to grow before I can say, okay, let me do this agency. Just because there's so many already, there's so many people doing this agency thing, so let them flourish. When I'm ready, and if I do decide to get there, I don't know if I will, but I will see. I'll revisit it.
Wow.
Yeah. So for now, it's just a cash cow that's helping sustain myself while I build my babies.
Okay. Oh. Well, good luck on on raising the babies. With what we're doing with Entrepreneurial Spotlight is also building a community of people in business and people who are growing in business, and through the community, young people in business. We've spoken to people on the show who are guys who've been in business for 10, 20 years even, who are doing their 3rd or 4th startup and all of that. So I think with the show and with what we want to do and with bringing all these people together, I think there starts to be a lot of synergy with the interactions that you have in that space. So that's one of the platforms that we're sort of putting out there, funding being another one, and also the help on that space. And it's really great to have had you on the show to give us a little bit of education. Yeah, I think so too.
It's been really enlightening to hear what PR really is.
Yeah.
What we perceive it as.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I took a lot out of that in terms of knowing what our steps also going forward need to be, and I'm very serious about sitting down for a consult with that. You're really doing amazing things. I think you're really in a great headspace. I think your babies, it'll be nice to see them come to life, and I'm pretty sure we'll see it. Other than that, thank you so much for sharing the story. This is what we're here for: sharing the stories, getting your business out there, inspiring somebody else out there to get started. So all you 21-year-olds out there,
start that business.
Yeah, how do you feel about yourself?
Never too late.
Exactly. I always always say you can be 40 and start again, and you've still got your whole life ahead of you. So,
definitely.
you know, it's all about finding that passion and that thing that you want to do that's going to drive you.
Yeah,
and I think that makes a major difference.
Yeah, I think this is a great platform for us as well, because I think, you know, as an entrepreneur, you go through difficulties. Not every day is great. So to have a platform like this where you can actually talk about the thing that you're working on further motivates you sitting here, because it's like, okay, maybe I'm not such a douche. I'm not messing up. I'm not a failure.
Absolutely.
And it's been very encouraging.
And we're getting a lot of that feedback, of even people just saying it was amazing to hear that story and how somebody came out of either a struggle or a hardship or even things just not working, how they recreate themselves, you know. So I think in just telling that story, you know, a lot of people out there are getting value out of it. So it's super cool.
Thank you, Gary. That was enlightening.
Yes, super enlightening. Yeah. On that note, please don't forget us as those babies.
But before then, how do people get a hold of you? If somebody wants your service,
consultancy,
how do people get a hold of you?
So you can call me directly. Okay. I don't know if I can give my number.
We'll put it in
there we go. I'll give you my card, which has all my contacts. Then you can,
It's as simple as that.
That's simple.
Simple as that.
Just come to me with a straight story.
Be straight.
You don't want to have to be digging out.
Like, it's your business. You tell me what you want to make of it.
Okay.
You heard it for yourself?
You heard it, guys. And I think it'll be worthwhile, you in the startup business that's trying to take it to the next level, to sit with a all-star, I'm going to call you all-star strategist from now on. All-star strategist in public relations. Hit up Kelly, give her a call. I'm pretty sure she can help you take your business to the next level. Those of you who are already successful and wanting to see that next step, that next avenue, holla. Been a very awesome episode, Kelly. It was a super pleasure and really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think on that note,
you know what to do.
1 deuce,
2 deuces,
2 deuces, double deuces, and we out.
Okay, so
you can start.
Say hi to the people.
Hi.
No,